Unfortunately, in the last 75 years of independence, name one single brand from India that has come out, which is truly having a global appeal. A real original Indian brand that truly has a brand appeal across the world. If you ask me, look around. You will be holding an Apple phone. You will be holding a Sony phone or a Samsung phone or one of those amazing brands. You must have come in a Toyota or a Honda or even a Suzuki, I don't know, BMW, Mercedes. All of these brands are alien. All of these brands are alien and have been created by small countries, a very small sized population. If you think for a minute, what is Taiwan famous for? Taiwan is famous for semiconductors. Taiwan is famous for electronics. What is Singapore famous for? A small country with about, I think, less than the size of Hyderabad. Half the population of Hyderabad is today almost $1 trillion economy. So what are we talking about here? Singapore can be $1 trillion economy, and a country like India is still dreaming and still talking about $5 trillion. It will happen. 5 trillion will happen. No matter if there is a government in Delhi or Hyderabad, it will happen. Even if there is no government, even if there is no prime minister, even if there is no chief minister, the 5 trillion dream will happen. It doesn't take a government to make that happen. Because it is the industry, it is the private sector, it is the people of this great nation that actually will make it happen. But the question that we need to ask ourselves is, are our leaders, is the leadership of this great nation, in fact, giving us a vision of reaching that $25 trillion or $30 trillion or being the highest per capita in the world? It's not about the 5 trillion size. It's about the per capita, how the wealth is distributed among its citizens. On the one hand, India has some of the richest people in the world. The richest. If you look at the top 10 index, I think there are 2 or 3 Indians. I think one of them has slipped out of top 10 yesterday, but that's a different story. But on the other hand, we also are the nation with the maximum number of poor people on the planet. So unless the wealth is distributed equitably, unless, I'm not preaching socialism, I'm not preaching communism. All I'm saying is, when the Honorable Prime Minister himself says, a freebie culture, revdi culture, theek nahi hai. Let me remind all of you in this room, we are still a third world country with the maximum number of poor people on the planet. While 5 trillion, 10 trillion goals are laudable, ambitious, noteworthy, praiseworthy, the fact remains, unless a government in India, every government in India, takes care of its most vulnerable, there will come a day when civil strife will ensue. And all those who are sitting here in the comforts of this wonderful auditorium will not be able to have such meetings if there is civil strife. So it is the bounden responsibility, it is the fundamental responsibility of every single government in this great nation to ensure that while the economy grows, the wealth also gets distributed. While the economy grows, the most vulnerable is also taken care of, and ensure that development and welfare go hand in hand. Now in Telangana, we have done exactly that. In the last 8 years, just to give you numbers, our per capita in 2014 in Telangana was 1,24,000 rupees. As of June last year, it rose to 2,78,000 rupees. When the national average, national per capita is only 1,49,000 rupees, Telangana's per capita is 2,78,000 rupees. The GSDP of Telangana was 5 lakh crores in 2014. As of June last year, it rose to 11.55 lakh crores. If I have to sum it up in one line, because we are talking about the 5 trillion economy, if the rest of India performed as well as Telangana did, we would have already been a 4.6 trillion economy today. That's how well Telangana has grown over the last 8 years. We grew at 15% compounded annual growth rate. We are a state, in terms of population, we are only 2.5% of India, but we contribute 5% to the GDP of India. So we are literally a 50-kilo boxer fighting in a 100-kilo category. We are punching double our weight. That's what I meant when I said people management. That's what I meant when I said expectations management, alignment of expectation with those of the needs of the people is important. In Telangana, we focused on the 3I mantra: innovation, infrastructure, inclusive growth. We ensured that all these three I's went hand in hand to ensure a fourth I, that is India, also raised along with us. On innovation, when I say innovation, a lot of people think startups. I don't just mean startups. Innovation can come from within the government in terms of new policy making. In Telangana, because I know there are a lot of chief executives also in the room, let me point out, we've innovated with our policy making. The first piece of legislation that we have drafted in the new state of Telangana in 2014 October was the TS iPass. TS iPass literally stands for the Telangana State Industrial Project Approval Self-Certification System. What does it mean? I'll just give you three salient features of it. If you, as a chief executive, had to launch a new operation or a new factory in my state, you actually don't need to get a clearance from the government. You don't need an approval from the government. You don't need an approval from the local municipality. You don't need an approval from the local village panchayat. You can hit the ground running. If you have a piece of land that is already allocated to you, you can start the construction of your factory on day one by self-certifying yourselves that you will be in compliance with the law of the land. What we seek of you, though, because we need to also ensure regulatory compliance is met with, we seek that you submit all details: the nature of business, the investment, the employment potential, the taxes you would be paying, etc., the category of industry, etc., on the TS iPass portal.